Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel. And I am taking you to a super cool place today. You can see behind me the Oysters, and Brian is taking Vi. We're going to lunch. So I want to show you how cool this is. So this is a place called Classen Oysters, and it used to just be where, those are all oyster shells, where they would just do oysters, right? And now they've got a restaurant inside, and they do the most amazing oysters, like chowder and stuff like that. We're gonna head in to Classen Oysters, and I'm gonna show you. We usually get like the oyster chowder. Oh, it's so good. And they put like a big oyster, and I am not a raw oyster kind of girl. I like them cooked or on barbecue, but the way they do them in here is phenomenal. Okay, we're inside. See, this is Classen Oysters. And this used to be filled with like the oysters, and you can buy smoked oysters. But here, look, oh gosh, it's so good. So here's where you can get chowder. Their chowder is phenomenal. And you can get smoked oysters, and they have all different kind of stuff there. But what's cool is literally in the back here, you can see back here, it's not right now, but a lot of times you can go back there and you can see where they're processing all the oysters. And this is Vi's favorite place. Right, Vi? Say hi, Vi. Okay, guys, this is the oyster chowder that is so good. And then look, there's a fried oyster on top. And these are good because they're not like slimy, they're like cooked, which I like. But this is super thick. If I could, oh man, I gotta go get a spoon. Let me borrow your spoon. If I could learn, I'll get you one. If I could learn how to make this, I would make it for you. I'll try to figure it out. But look at how thick it is and the amount of oysters in there. It is so good. Anyway, so that's Classen Oysters. I'm gonna eat. Okay, let me go. You guys, Brian wants to point out, because he's from New England, born in Massachusetts, he wanted to point out that it takes New England oyster crackers to put on Oregon oyster chowder.
And they don't even, they're not even from part of New England that's next to the ocean. They're from Vermont.
Oh, did you know? Well, now you know, but looky, look. So good. Look, Brian's a taste tester again. So good, right, Brian?
Yep.
I just think this is cool. I want to show you. So these are actually pictures that are here in the restaurant that show the people working. And when we go outside, I'll have to tell you guys about how my dad got a tour of Classen Oysters. Did what, these?
No. Tell about how your dad got.
Oh, that's how they work. And here's back there where I looked through the window. And there's a whole deal about how they, oh, I don't even know. I can tell you how they, this is an oldie. Look at those guys. Those are really cool. So I'm going to show you back here a little bit, and I'm going to tell you a little something. So this is where they do all the processing. And my dad got a whole tour on this, and I'll show you outside what happens so that he got a tour on it. But this is not just oyster, like they grow them, and I'm going to have to do some research on how to explain it. But out in the bay, they have like these big nets, and they have like baby oysters, and they're called oyster seeds, and they literally put them out there and they grow, and then depending on where they're located, they know how big they've gotten. And then there's a thing where they have to put a net or something around it that keeps the sea lions from going through the edges of the net and pulling out the baby oysters. It's like a whole process. It's very cool. Just look it up. Just look at Classen Oysters. So when we go outside, I'll show you how my dad, he was funny, how he got a full tour of this place. Okay, so we just left inside, and I'm going to show, so there's the front of the building, and years ago, like 20 some years ago, my dad and I came here, and there was, you know, you can walk out here, out to the water. Well, there was over there was a kennel with a really pretty like white husky, and he was on a chain, and he was just sitting there nice, and my dad walked up and stuck his hand out, and he's like, "Hey puppy." Well, puppy bit him. And it wasn't the dog's fault, because my dad approached the dog and it was in a secure area, and he shouldn't have done that. But, you know, and I ended up having to take him and get stitches. Well, because it was a dog bite, they notified the owners at the time that their dog had bit somebody. And my dad felt terrible about it because it wasn't the dog's fault. So he came in to apologize to the people, the lady that owned it, and tell her how sorry he was. The dog just had to be quarantined and it was fine. So he came in to tell her how sorry he was that it had happened. And she was, of course, worried, you know, oh, my dog bit somebody. And she said, I'll do anything, you know, I just want to make sure that you're okay. And he said, you know what? I would like to know what you do here. I'd like to see it. My dad was the kind of guy that could get a tour anywhere. And he spent like 4 hours with her, and they actually became really good friends afterwards because he just loved seeing all the things that they do. So here is all this is kind of cool, oyster shells that they put there. And there's the huge bags of oyster shells. But it's a whole cool process that they do. And I just love coming here, and I love bringing Vi here because this is one of her favorite places to have lunch. So there you have it. Quick, spur of the moment, unplanned little video of our lunch at Classen Oysters. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.